Hello everybody. So a lot of people do not realize that when they buy a new Toyota, some functions are actually tied to a subscription. And that subscription does have a trial period. Well, this is our 2025 Toyota Camry. It's our long-term tester, and we just reached an important milestone. We reached that 1-year mark, which does mean that for the very first time, we've now seen our subscription services actually be discontinued. So today we have a couple important questions.
What features do we have left after a year, and what features do you have to pay for, and how much does it cost to get them back? That's what we're diving into today.
Now, like I said at the beginning, I think this catches a lot of Toyota owners off guard because it's not exactly advertised too much when you purchase the vehicle. And we say that because we see, obviously, your all's comments, and there's a lot of people in the comments that are very surprised when certain functions actually disappear from their new Toyota, which is only a year old. And I would say, definitely the biggest thing that we see people talking about online is the remote start function. So let's kind of dig into that. Now with this system, so you have something called the Remote Connect subscription. This includes other things besides for remote start, but remote start is actually the biggest component of that. And when you get into Toyota's application on your phone, you can see that there is a place where you can remote start your vehicle as well as check other types of functions. So of course, this is fully functional for the first year, but now let's kind of take a look at what you have with the subscription expired. So I went ahead and pulled open the app, and you can see now we've lost quite a bit of functionality. In place where we previously had a lot of things related to the car's status, as well as that prominent start your vehicle up, in its place, we just have a picture of the Camry, and we got this big old button that says renew subscription. So obviously, they're definitely going to be pushing you to choose that subscription, and we'll talk about the cost of that a little later on in the video. But really, we don't have any functions here. We can't remote start it. We can't lock or unlock it. One of the interesting things is up at the top, it says distance to empty for our fuel. And where there previously was a mileage estimate, they have eliminated that as well unless you buy the subscription.
Now, those of you that really like remote start will be happy to know that even despite what a Toyota spokesperson said several years ago, now that our subscription has expired, we actually did try and remote start the Camry via the key fob, and it does actually still work. So that's certainly nice. You do have the functionality of remote starting your vehicle via the key fob. However, one thing that we have, noted about this remote start function is that the key fob doesn't work very good long distance. So if you're any distance away from the vehicle, it's not going to work as well as other brands. And of course, you now no longer have the option to do it in the app itself. Now, as far as other functionalities that you'll lose, that will be things like digital key, so you won't be able to leave your keys at home and use your phone as the key. You could also previously use your watch as the key, so if you were taking a run or something like that, you didn't necessarily have to bring your key along with you, so all of that functionality has expired. And as far as other things, if you wanted to know the location of your vehicle, that has also expired. So in the app, you now no longer know where the vehicle is located at. It just is going to show your location. If you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then, we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. So we talked about the Remote Connect subscription, but there's also another subscription. It's called Drive Connect. And what this one is in regard to is your navigation system. So when we were choosing this XSE Camry, this came with the large display, and it also has the built-in navigation system. But the thing is, if you don't pay for this subscription, after 1 year, you can see the navigation actually goes away. So this was something we were very curious about because, previously if you bought a older Toyota and you had one of those chips that was inside, you might choose never to upgrade that. Your navigation would just be out of date, but you would still have the navigation permanently. Well, as you can see, guys, that's not the case anymore. So that screen is now replaced with this just kind of blue screen. And the only button here is for you to get started on subscribing to this service. So that's pretty disappointing. Of course, I know a lot of people are just going to use, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so it might not be the biggest deal, but it does kind of feel like you paid for that feature and they just take it away from you. Now, in addition to that, you are going to lose access to the intelligent assistant, so the voice commands will no longer be able to communicate with the tower and be smart, although we never found them to be particularly useful anyways. And then there's also something called Destination Assist, which is included inside of this package, and that allows you to actually talk to a real person who can set your navigation and send it into the car. And before we leave the interior, I do want to mention another subscription. This one's called Wi-Fi Connect. So this is powered by AT&T. It allows your vehicle to be basically connected to nonstop cell service, and this enables some built-in applications to function properly. The ones that Toyota mainly advertises with this functionality is Apple Music and Amazon Music. They have dedicated apps inside of the system itself. If you have that service built in, you can kind of stream directly into your car.
So now we've gone through all the things that expired after the 1-year trial period, but what doesn't expire? Well, it's going to be two different things called Safety Connect and Service Connect. Now, these services will last for 10 years. Safety Connect is going to be able to call 911. It's your SOS button inside the vehicle, so if you're in a crash, it will call 911 for you. It will also be able to do stolen vehicle location. And your Service Connect is basically just going to give you some vehicle health reports and overall maintenance information. So you do get that for 10 years. After 10 years, though, you're a little bit out of luck.
But now it's time to address the million-dollar question. How much does it cost to get this functionality back? Which subscription services cost what? Thankfully, not $1 million. We're looking at $15 a month is going to be your starting point for the Remote Connect. That also includes music streaming, so they kind of package that in together. That's $15 a month. Now, you also have another package, Remote Connect plus navigation. So that basically allows you to, instead of having music streaming, choose to have the navigation as well. That's also $15 a month. Or you can kind of combine both of them. Thankfully, they give you a little bit of a discount, $25 a month. And then finally, you have Wi-Fi Connect, which is what we mentioned comes through AT&T. That's a lot more pricey. That's $25 a month in addition to the other one. So as you can see, if you want to get it all, you're looking at $50 a month. So that's a lot of money. I think most of you guys will agree that that's quite a bit of money for this functionality that some automakers do include, definitely for a longer trial period than Toyota is including. Some of them actually include it for the lifetime of the vehicle. So definitely quite a bit of money, and it does, add up over time for sure when you're looking at something that's just yet another subscription service in addition to maybe Spotify, Netflix, all the other things that you're paying for every single month.
So are we going to pay for the subscription? I think the answer is no. I'll run it by Drew, but a lot of the functionality doesn't really matter too much to us, besides for really the remote start and the vehicle functions in the app. That's definitely an annoying thing that they have removed, and the navigation is kind of peculiar as well, because if you find yourself in a situation where you need the integrated nav, you don't have cell service, that functionality is completely gone, so I'm a little disappointed by that. But is it worth the $15 to $50 a month? I don't know about that. And guys, if you found this video helpful, of course, we made this video because we've owned this Camry for a year, and we want to keep you all informed on our ownership experience. And of course, a big part of the ownership experience is how much it's costing us to keep it on the road. And if you want those functions, that's going to be an additional expense, up to about $600 a year if you want everything. So keep that in mind. Now, of course, if you want to learn more about this Camry, we have a ton of different videos on our channel. We have night reviews, daytime reviews, the cost to own, our insurance, everything in between. I promise you won't want to miss that. So go ahead and subscribe down below, because we'll be covering this Camry even in more depth in the future, and we've already covered it a lot. So I promise you won't want to miss out. If you're looking to buy a Toyota Camry or any new vehicle, we'd also encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, including our monthly payment tool, you can find that once again at carconfections.com/newcarquotes. There's a link in our video description and a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that wraps up this Camry subscription video. If you found this helpful, subscribe down below. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support because you make this all possible. Thanks so much and have a great day.